Welcome back to the Crazy Blessed Show. And today is Monday, so of course it's Master Mom Monday. And here's the deal. Ladies, moms, if you've ever felt depressed, if you've ever felt like you're just like hobbling along and you know there's something more inside of you, I want you to listen. Like, stop what you're doing, pay attention to this, because you're going to meet a mom, Gerda Gauk, who is right where you are. And she made a decision that dramatically transformed her life. And what she's doing today, oh my gosh, gonna blow you away. Check it out. Hey there, Gerda. It's so good to have you here. Master Mom Monday. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, it's really good to be here. Thanks for having me, Hannah. I am a wife and a mom of 3 kids. I am a coach. I help women who are in lonely marriage, emotional abandonment, that kind of thing. Get their
Cool.
freedom, their joy, and get their life back. I also work with people to move from codependency into freedom. Yeah.
So cool. You're like changing lives, girl. You're not just rocking your own life as a coach, you're changing lives. And it is so powerful to see what you do. But you're so unique. And like, tell us a little bit about your kids, about what's unique about your family.
Well, we all have weird names, so that's unique. One of them. Yeah, I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. Those are girls, and then a 5-year-old boy. And there's just a lot of creativity and quirkiness in my family, which I love quite a bit.
You guys are amazing. All right. So tell us a little bit about what your life was like. Like, you're changing lives, you're rocking it, but you weren't always there, right? Like, there was a time when you were just going through some challenges. And so the cool thing about Master Mom Monday is this is where all moms can just come together. We're like, you know what? I can just like, I don't have to put up any walls. I don't have to pretend anything. I can just be real. So share with us a little bit about who you used to be, that Gerda from the past.
Who I used to be before you, Hannah, before Mom Mastery University. Depressed, overwhelmed, codependent, broke, frustrated, and a victim. So super not cool things.
Like, what did that look like? Like, how did that show up in your life? Like, when people say, like, yeah, I was depressed, some people who have never been there, they really don't understand. Like, what did that look like day to day?
Yeah. I would say there was just like a going through the motions. I remember I was pregnant with my son maybe around the time that I found you. It's been a while, so I forget exactly, but I was basically in bed that whole pregnancy, and my husband worked out of town, so he was only home on weekends. And I had 2 little kids, 3 years old, no, 2 and 4 years old. That's what they were. And they basically were feeding themselves and everything because it was a difficult pregnancy. But I remember just feeling super alone. And I remember reaching out to my church, and there was a ladies' Bible study or something early on a Wednesday morning, and there was no way I could get me and the troops in the house. Like,
right.
And stuff. And I remember thinking, wow, they have nothing for me. They have nothing to offer me.
Wow.
So yeah, I just, this feeling
like, if you want to drag your butt out of bed and like put all your kids in their car seats, bring them, yeah, we can help you. Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh. Was that just like every day, like you were struggling with depression, or was it like in and out, or?
Oh, I'm sure it was in and out. Like, it was a continuous thing, but I'd have those days where things were exciting, or I had a project or whatever. But overall, there was an underlying depression, overwhelm, I would say. And also, just, to me, my greatest fear was to not reach my potential. And I knew I wasn't reaching my potential.
Wow. That is so powerful. And I think that sometimes we are so numb from it. Like as moms, I think the enemy loves to distract us, keep us busy, so we forget about our potential. You know what I mean? We're like, okay, I'm getting by. I'm getting by. This is okay, and we live in this season of okay so long that starts to identify our life. And then we're like, well, wait a minute, something just we know something more is in us, and I think that was you. Like, there's something more inside me, and that frustration that you can't access it. Like, am I right there?
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely like I just wasn't okay with okay. I wasn't okay with even fine, even good. I just inside me, God planted a seed of greatness, and I knew that, but I didn't know how to unlock it.
Wow, so powerful. And you said you were a victim. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I would say that that was my mindset, is that I was a victim.
Okay.
Whether, that's
Wow.
from many different things growing up or,
Totally.
my marriage. Like my husband did not live with me most of our marriage because of work. And I didn't know that when I married him. Like nobody said anything about him, going off for work somewhere else. So I took that on as, for me, there's nothing I can do. I'm a victim. Like, yeah, it was my mentality.
Yeah. All the things. So how did you find out about Mom Master University? How did you like stumble upon it one day or what?
Yeah, I believe my sister Rachel and maybe told me about this. I think she heard of it first, that there was a Rockin' Routines challenge that this Hannah Keeling.
I remember that, the Rockin' Routines challenge. Like if we could just get a routine down, maybe we can see a life change. Tell me about that.
So my house was a disaster. I've got the little kids that I told you about making their own snacks. I actually wasn't able to walk at different points during that pregnancy. And so like things were not great around the house. So
no,
I thought, okay,
no, not at all.
Get some routines going. Sure, I'll try this, whatever.
Right.
She's going to do it with me. We'll do it together. So her and we joined, and I believe it was 21 days or something like that. And I remember the first couple days thinking, oh, well, this is nice, but it's not going to do anything, right? Like, oh, cute. Right?
Oh, this is cute. This is a cute little challenge. Yeah, totally.
But it was fun, and it was something to look forward to each day and something to get me out of bed, right? And then as it went on, I realized, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like I was starting to have feel empowered and have hope and excitement just about my daily routine. Just in that short amount of time, I felt that it changed my life even in those 3 weeks.
So powerful. That is so good. So did you, from that challenge, you decided to enroll in Mom Master University?
Yes. Yeah. So at the end, I think there was an invitation to, if you want to take this further, join Mom Master University. And it was definitely a no-brainer for me at that point. Yeah. So I jumped in.
That is so cool. So you started tuning in to the faith trainings, getting the coaching. When did you see that start to show up in your life? Like the results, was it immediate or did it take a while or what?
I would say both. It's been a journey.
Yeah.
And there were immediate changes, but there were also long-term changes. There's something to be said with sticking with something and continuing, because there's layers of growth. You can have some immediate growth and that's amazing, but where I am now to where I was then is completely different.
Wow.
It changed everything for me.
So when you say where you are now and where you were then, completely different. So what is that like now? Like compare the two. What is your life like as, you've been plugging away, you've been doing this thing, you've been tuning in. What is it like?
I would say the biggest change for me has been my faith. And I'm someone who grew up in the church, and not just grew up in the church, but my dad is a Bible scholar type of person. So
oh, wow.
I know the Bible, but it changed my faith. And some of the stuff I was learning and hearing was what? I never heard this, or I've never thought of it that way. And so even just the way that I believe or interact with God and with the word and everything is completely different. But also it changed my life on a practical level. It changed my identity, which is huge because identity is basically the key to
Everything, like the core of everything, right?
everything. Yeah, I'm not that victim anymore. Like I actually learned how to take what I was dealt and make something out of it.
So good.
And, of course, now I have a career as a coach and
Yeah.
free now. That's the difference, is I'm free to be who I was designed to be. And I mean, that's priceless, right?
That is so powerful. Like, and I think so many times like one of the things that breaks my heart is when women don't give themselves a chance to experience that. Like maybe they're like, no, it's not for me. Or like you knew the Bible. You had grown up understanding like this is God's word. I get it, but you understood it here. Like some people may have a hard time, like maybe they're listening or watching this right now, and they're like, but I grew up in the church. Like I know the Bible. What's different? So I think like what is different, like between where you were, like knowing the Bible, and then when you say like your faith, what does that look like?
I definitely grew up more in a logical type of biblical exploration type of approach.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things I was always super frustrated with was I don't feel like I can hear God. Like I had seen his in my life, right? But I never felt like I could hear him. Like, how do I know it's him? And all of that, right? So if you feel like you can't hear God's voice, that's super frustrating, especially being, a follower your whole life. I knew there was something kind of missing there, even though I had a relationship with God. So that has been one of the biggest changes in my faith, is that I now can hear from him and understand what he's telling me specifically, not just what he wrote to humanity and that's it, right?
Right.
So it changes.
So good.
It takes the personal thing way deeper.
Wow. Well, so today, like you not only know how to live by faith, like have that intimate relationship with God, but also it's showing up in your life, in your home, and your kids. You're growing your career as a coach now, helping other people. How does that feel when you think about that?
It is incredible, really. Like when I think of where I came, even as a child, I was probably the most shy person that has ever been born. So the fact that, like, I'll speak on stage, whatever, no big deal. Like, it's actually quite crazy. So just getting in tune with your identity and who he has made you to be and really understanding that, it changes everything. So yeah, when I look back from where I've come from and everything I've gone through into where I am now, and I want to say, like, it's not just all roses. I'm not here to say, oh, do this thing and then your life will never have problems. I still have those battles come up, but now I know what to do with them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Because like Jesus said, in this world, you will have trouble, but I have deprived the world of the power to harm you. So now we can look at our problems as a mom, or as anyone really, from a totally different perspective of knowing, you know what, I am more than enough for this. Like greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So we position everything from that viewpoint of I've already overcome it. So now let me operate in that power. Like before, feeling like a victim, it's almost like, all right, who's going to help me?
Yeah.
Right? Like that victim mentality, like I need someone to come in and rescue me.
Even just the power.
But then all of a sudden.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, what you said about the power. Like I remember working for someone and, they're Christians and everything, before I had kids. And I told her, oh, I'm not feeling that great. Just to let you know, tomorrow I might be sick. And she said to me, so you're planning to be sick. And I was very offended.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Confused. But in hindsight now, I realize we have power over those things. And she obviously knew that, but I didn't. So
wow.
It's just,
so good.
Yeah.
So if there is a mom right now who is where you used to be, like she's feeling like a victim, maybe she's struggling with depression and just this overall heaviness, like you and I both know what that heaviness feels like. What would you tell her right now?
Honestly, just, you can't do it alone. We're not designed to do it alone. That is not the point.
Oh, no way, baby.
Like if you've come across this, I would say join Mom Master University. Jump into something, start listening to other sources, because what you've listened to so far and what you've done so far has gotten you where you are. And I don't say that in any way to shame or blame or anything.
No.
But here's the cool thing about taking personal responsibility. We can use it as shame, like, oh, it's all your fault. No, I say personal responsibility is actually finding where your power lies. So
good.
Tune in, listen to Hannah, to the trainings, and just let it absorb into your soul. And it will change your life if you let it.
So powerful. So powerful. And you and I both, as coaches, we know the power of working with the thoughts. And I think that's why moms feel frustrated, is because they have tried other things, like you said. And it's like they're not working with the way that their brain is wired as a mom. So now it just feels so defeating. But if you'll just give yourself one more chance. Sometimes that's all we need to do, is just have enough faith to just make one more decision. And it could be on the other side of that.
And what I want to say too is, it's not about, is this the right program? It's about, am I worth it? Am I worth taking the risk on something that could help me? It's really not about,
so good.
Is this the perfect thing that I'm going to do? Turn it back. It's about you. You're worth it. You're worth the risk. You're worth taking a chance.
So good. So good. Thank you, Gerda, so much. Not just for being here today, but also for making the bold move of being in that state where, you feel kind of hopeless and you're like, you know what? I know there's something more, and you acted on it, because now you're just changing lives all over the place. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Hannah, and for everything you've done.
Oh, thank you. What a blessing. So if you've ever felt like you're in that place, maybe you're where Gerda was, you just know there's something more inside of you. Don't know what it is, but it's still keeping you hungry. You don't want the depression anymore. You don't want the victim mentality anymore. Get plugged in. Go to Mom Master University and give yourself one more shot. I think you're going to be remarkably amazed at how crazy blessed your life can become.